Welcome everyone to our Lifecycle webinar. Today we're going to teach you how to track sales performance and convert more customers with Lifecycle. We previously actually had a Lifecycle webinar as well, but that's a few months ago, and we have actually improved the Lifecycle feature further, adding some features that Wilson here will talk more about. He's the architect behind the Lifecycle feature here, so he's going to be explaining more. So hopefully today is a productive session. I'll hand it over to Wilson.
Okay, thanks, Tyler. Hi, everyone. So I'm Wilson. I'm the Senior Product Manager here at Respond.io. I work on primarily the core features like the inbox module, AI tools, and our, of course, Lifecycle feature. My job is to turn your feedback into real solutions. So feel free to share your thoughts or ask any questions that you might have. Right, so let's go through the agenda for today itself first. First, we'll look at the key problems Lifecycle can solve and what happens if you don't adopt Lifecycle in your business with Respond.io. Then I'll show you how to set up Lifecycles in your workspace so you can get started quickly. And we'll also cover some best practices to get the most out of your Lifecycle setup. After that, we'll dive into the new Lifecycle reports now available on all Respond.io plans. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a Q&A. And yes, you definitely get the slides and the recording after the session itself.
Yep. So if you have any questions, please put it into the chat as early as possible. At the end of it, we'll answer them via the Q&A. So basically, we'll be sharing your questions like this, for example. So yeah, hope to see some interesting questions. Okay, let's start.
Okay, so let's talk about the problems Lifecycle can help solve first. First, lost leads. Obviously, it's always a problem, right? It's easy to miss chats when your inbox is overflowing. So without a system, some leads just slip through and end up messaging your competitors instead. Now, we all don't like that, right? Then there's figuring out who's actually worth your time. Now, we know that not every message needs the same follow-up, and Lifecycle helps you spot the hot leads fast and cut down on repetitive work across teams. And finally, most teams don't really know how their sales chats are performing. So with Lifecycle reports, hopefully we solve that. So because without solid data, you're basically just running in the dark. So Respond.io, our Lifecycle management can seriously level up your business game. Key features like this is what sets us apart. It helps you organize contacts by how likely they are to convert, so you can focus on the hot ones and close more deals. With Lifecycle, you can also trigger workflow based on your customer's Lifecycle stage, so leads get assigned and follow up on faster without anyone lagging behind. And with, right now, Lifecycle reports, you get a clear view of your conversations at every single stage. If something's slowing you down, you catch it early and fix it fast. All right, so without further ado, let's look at how to set up Lifecycle first.
Oh, Wilson, I think before we move on, I think it's very important to highlight that when you're looking at a customer conversation chat management tool, for example, like Respond.io, it's very important for you to identify like what chats are basically more important than others. And having something like Lifecycle will help you manage that so that you can take advantage of all the serious buyers, any opportunities, or find ways to improve your funnel as well. So if you are still considering tools, make sure that you have something like this. And of course, Respond.io has it.
Yes, exactly. So let me just share my screen. I'll show you guys how to set up Lifecycle. Right, so can everyone see this? Well, I guess they can. So as owners and managers, you have access to settings. Then you only have to go to workspace settings and click on Lifecycle module here with the new tag beside. Then you only have to turn this on, right? Right now it's already on, so there's that. So once you turn this on, I'll show you later how it looks like on inbox contacts and also even dashboard module. But on the configuration page itself, you see two things. First is Lifecycle stages. So this is what we call, sometimes we call it primary Lifecycle stages. It's basically stages that you move a customer throughout your Lifecycle funnel. So stage one, you might receive all your new customers and they are tagged as new lead. right? We also have a default stage, which means that they will automatically get assigned this stage when they message first. Then you move customers throughout the funnel from new lead to hot lead when you're talking to them actively. Invoice issued, in this case, I have it set up this way, but invoice issued, payment in progress. Then finally, your one stage is payment made, at least for me in this configuration. Then we call it a one stage because this is where you have converted your customer to a paying customer. On the right side, you will actually see a category called lost. Sorry. You actually see a category called lost stages, and this is where you can assign to contacts when you have lost them. So in this case, I have cold lead and no budget, which obviously tells me that whenever I'm talking to the customer throughout the lifecycle funnel, then let's say if they suddenly gone cold, then this is the stage that you can assign so that you don't spend too much time on them because you've already lost them, right? And in this case, I also have no budget. Because let's say the customer, you've been talking to them, but they have not been reciprocating with you on the budget side, then this is something that you can assign to if they portray that they do not intend to buy at all. Right? So once all these are set up, let me go to inbox module itself. You'll be able to see the lifecycle selection on the top beside the name of the contact itself. And in this case, I have a cold lead, but let me go to this one, right? I'll be able to select on this and select the lifecycle stages while I am chatting with the customer. In this case, I have lifecycle primary stages and also lost stages set up. On the left side, you will also be able to select the lifecycle on this quick action menu. And on the left of that is what we call lifecycle inboxes, where you will see the primary inboxes for your contacts. Now, this is where you can work on and see also the open conversations that you have with your customers, especially in the active lifecycle stages. Okay, so if you go to contacts when you have lifecycle on, we also have a column for the lifecycle itself, which means that you can filter them accordingly and also create custom segments based on your preference. So other than that, as an owner and manager, you can also, if you go to dashboard, you will also see a what we call lifecycle cards. This is where you can see what is your current standing of your contacts within specific lifecycle buckets, right? So you can look at this, every day and see like, oh, I have 32 hot leads to work on. Let me just close that. So that's basically in terms of setting up lifecycle. You just need to, again, go here, workspace, lifecycle, and turn this on. It's as easy as that. So let me get back to the slide itself. Oops. This one, yes. And since I've gone through the lifecycle setup and how it looks like within the platform, let's talk about how to set up lifecycle stages, right? So it's basically, even if you turn it on, we need to make sure as an owner or manager, we need to set it up properly so the data works for you. So some best practices on setting up your lifecycle configuration. To make the most out of lifecycle itself, you need to first understand your customer journey because clarity equals to tangible results. Second, you need to keep stages simple and actionable so your team can use them without confusion. And finally, you need to define clear entry and exit criteria to measure success and track performance accordingly with your current lifecycle configuration. So first, start by mapping your customer journey so that you know exactly what are the conversion goals of each stages. For example, your sales process, which is a real case, by the way, one of our customers actually set it up like this. Your sales process could look like this. The first goal is getting new leads to book a trial, right? So you see new lead, after that is free trial requested. The next, you can remind them to attend the trial. And then if they attended the trial, which is trial claimed here, you can follow up with them to purchase the subscription plan or whatever it may be. Then finally, you can focus on converting them into paying customers, and that is where the purchase plans actually is. By keeping stages tied to specific goals, your agents can guide leads towards conversions more effectively, and you'll be able to track every single movement along the way in reports. So we recommend keeping it very simple, at least if you have just enabled Lifecycle. We recommend starting with just about 5 to 7 stages because it's the sweet spot. It's easy for your team to manage and flexible enough for you to tweak and improve over time. The goal isn't to get it perfect the first time, it's to start simple, learn fast, and build from there. Finally, you need to define clear exit and entry criteria for each stages and for your full lifecycle journey. In this case, by setting clear rules for when a contact enters a stage or exit a stage, you can accurately track conversions, spot where leads drop off, and understand why they didn't convert. This setup helps you optimize your sales process and lets Respond.io do the heavy lifting by tracking your funnel and highlighting drop-off points in lifecycle reports. For example, in this case, you may see that I have cold lead, missed trial, and didn't purchase. So cold lead could happen anytime when you're conversing with the customer, especially in new lead, or let's say they have or you have requested a free trial and they just stop replying. Then obviously it could come from anywhere, right? It could come from a attended trial, free trial requested, or whatnot. Let's say they stop replying, then that's where you can move the customer to, and you can track which part of your conversion cycle they likely stop replying, and that's where you can spot if there's anything that you need to work on in terms of sales processes and whatnot. Or let's say, take for example your trial journey. You can also track how many customers requested a trial but never started it. So you can see attended trial. Here is the conversion goal, but free trial requested. Let's say they have requested a free trial but they never attended it. Then you can move customers into the stage where they have missed a trial. So this gives you a full picture of where you're losing potential revenue and what to fix next. Okay, so now we know how to, yes.
Before we move forward, I think it's better to give them an idea, other examples as well, so that people can really imagine like how can lost stages fit into their business as well.
There's another example that I love to use. It's in the automotive industry, right? So let's say you are a customer, or you have a customer, right? And you are a automotive industry, for example, selling a certain brand of cars, right? First of all, sometimes customer would most likely message you and say, hey, do you have this particular car? And if you say yes, they would like to book a trial, sorry, not a trial, but book a viewing or a test drive, right? And let's say that's your stages, right? Your new lead, and then the next stage is viewing booked, let's say. So there's a few stages after that as well. If they book the viewing, then they showed interest to actually buy, then there's a loan processing stage, so on and so forth. So looking at the whole journey itself, you can see exactly what stages that you need. And there's multiple drop-off reasons as well. Just now I mentioned no budget. So that definitely happens in the automotive industry. Let's say the customer did not even arrive for a test drive, or they just didn't like the car. Right? So there's multiple loss stages that you can set up with all the journey itself and see exactly where they tend to drop off and where they tend to drop off to, right? So you know exactly the reason why people drop off, and that is where you can look at your whole sales processes. Maybe there's something that you need to do. For example, if they have booked a test drive and most of the time they did not come for the test drive, then that's something that you can work on. Maybe send follow-up messages, send some reminders to go on the test drive, so on and so forth. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Exactly. This actually applies to all kinds of businesses, not just automotive, beauty. Like let's say you are in property, you want people go to your sales gallery or the showroom. Maybe the lost stages could be, oh, they did not attend, or maybe it's too expensive outside of their budget, or currently maybe just browsing, or no urgency. So different ways for you to categorize the lost stages to why having this is important is so that you as a business knows that, okay, why aren't customers moving down your funnel? Why aren't they becoming customers? Having that will give you solid numbers of why they're not moving down. Like, for example, for a laundry business, for example, why aren't people like gonna send their laundry to you?
Yeah.
It could be they're not enough. It's too expensive. Oh, your shop is too far away from them. Then you might be thinking, oh, am I targeting the wrong people? Let's say, example, you're running Facebook ads. Maybe you want to reduce your targeting so that it doesn't reach out to people so far away from your store. Or you can narrow down your targeting so that it targets more people who are more basically higher spender than the more cheap, who are looking the lowest price kind of people. So yeah, knowing all this information can help you really optimize your sales process.